And welcome back to This Week in the USHL. Bernie Corbett here with you. I want to thank our first guest, John Gaudreau, for coming on to join us. And we have another current standout from the USHL, from the Sioux City Musketeers. He's a 19-year-old from Bloomington, Minnesota, also a rookie in the league. Caleb Herbert is our guest, and Caleb has already been selected by the National Hockey League's Washington Capitals. He was a fifth-round choice this past June. His teammate Max Gady was selected in the third round by the San Jose Sharks, and Alex Velishek, a fifth-round selection of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So already three draft selections on the current Sioux City team, and he is committed to play at the University of Minnesota Duluth for the Bulldogs, who are having an outstanding season so far. One of 12, that's right, 12 current Musketeers committed to NCAA Division I schools. Caleb currently leads the Musketeers in scoring with 32 points in 30 games, so better than a point a game, which in the USHL is quite prolific. Musketeers are currently 18-17-4 and tied for sixth in the very tight Western Conference. And we have Caleb. We have Caleb with us, and Caleb, welcome to the program. You and I, we were. It was kind of like The Fugitive last week. We were chasing each other back and forth, and didn't connect. And weather conditions wreaked a little havoc on respective schedules, and you were on the road. So I apologize for that, and it's a pleasure to finally have an opportunity to meet you on the phone here, my friend.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having me. And like you said, playing a little bit of phone tag last week, but yeah, it's glad to be here and finally get a hold of you.
Absolutely. Well, once again, we like to have guys that we hope that the good karma rubs off, and we had John Gaudreau on earlier, and he's on a pretty nice point streak. But I want to just say right off the top that we've got a guy on the line right now who got the game winner in overtime last night against Tri-City. Is that your first overtime game winner in the USHL this season? And have you had a couple of other overtime game winners in the course of your career, maybe going all the way back to the youth ranks? Quite a thrill.
Yeah, it was a really exciting game. You know, it was back and forth the whole night. Tri-City tied it up late in the third, and went into overtime. It was a 1-1 game, and our team's been in a little bit of a slump lately, so it was nice to come out on top and get those two big points, and hopefully it'll be a start to something to get our team going here and try to string some wins together. I mean, like you said, it's a tight conference, and every point is big, especially his second half of the season here.
Oh, indeed, and that win was doubly important. You know, one of those 4-point swing games in the division where you actually were able to leapfrog Tri-City with the win, Caleb.
Yeah, it was a big game. We were actually sitting in dead last, and our team was kind of in a frenzy here, and we had some meetings with the coach, and we just knew we had to stay positive to kind of get out of this slump. And last night was a big win, and we hopped up a couple places in the standings, which is really nice. We got a big weekend ahead of us, and hopefully we can jump up even a little bit further here if we get some more wins under our belt. Well,
if you get on a run, it is so tightly contested, and actually, I'm glad you corrected me. You actually jumped by two teams last night. You jumped by Tri-City and Lincoln, and now you've got Des Moines and Sioux Falls within your sights, just 2 and 3 points ahead, respectively. So you guys could make a pretty good run here and really make a dent in the standings.
Yeah, we definitely could. I know we've played more games than a lot of teams in our conference, but that's nothing to be worried about. I know we had, I think, 21 games left, and I think we're on the same page now, and we're on the winning track. So this weekend should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I know the rest of the guys are as well.
Well, we had John Gaudreau on earlier, and he's just a 17-year-old rookie in the league, and came from playing at midget elite hockey. You, on the other hand, came from the hockey hotbed of the Gopher State, where high school hockey really rules. And just want to point out a standout high school career, 55 points in 25 games. You were a plus 37. What a gaudy mark that is your senior year. And one of the legendary, me following hockey for as long as I have, Bloomington, Jefferson, just outside of the Twin Cities. That's a legendary address for high school hockey. That must have been very exciting, having an opportunity to play at the high school in the high school ranks there with some of your close friends and play right through your high school career.
Yeah, it really was a great experience. starting out, my sophomore year was my first year on the varsity team. I had a pretty bad injury. I ended up breaking my femur. I think it was the second game of the year. But coming back and playing junior and senior year at Jefferson was a really good experience. And being able to be the captain of the team my senior year, I think I learned a lot about my own game as well, how to be a leader, and it really prepared me to be a player in the USHL this year. You're going to take your experiences you learn from high school and bring it on to the USHL and even further on in your hockey career. I know Minnesota kids tend to think it's kind of a small world, and it is. You get to the USHL, and it kind of opens your eyes to all the other different leagues and the background where players come from. And Minnesota's not the only place to play hockey, and that's another thing I've learned this year is there's tons of places where kids come out of, but this is a great league. We get kids from all over, and it's really been a fun year, and I'm gonna miss it when it's over. I can tell you that much.
Well, and it's interesting you note that because I think it's become a much more favorable route and a much more popular path to take is for the Minnesota high school player and elite high school player such as yourself to be able to play your entire high school career, enjoy your teammates and your friends and the guys you grew up with, but then know that, yes, there is a step in between that is going to be tremendously beneficial, and that step is the USHL, which appears is going to set you up very nicely to go on up to the banks of Lake Superior, up to UMD.
Yeah, I mean, it is a great league. It's a great stepping stone for anyone's hockey career, and that's another thing I've learned as well. There's no rush. I mean, life's a journey, not a race. So just taking this year, taking a year off of class and really focusing on your hockey game, it really doesn't hurt. And I know there's some guys that jump right into college, and I think some of those guys look back and say, wow, I could have spent a year in the USHL and played 60 games and got a lot better during that year. So I'm really glad I took this step, and I know a lot of other guys on the team are as well.
And being away this year, you have the opportunity to book in with a family and become a part of a family. And how's that experience been with you? Different environment, different city, and really a home away from home for you.
Yeah, it really is. I have a housing dad, Mike Barazia. He's a great guy. He welcomed us with open arms this year, and I actually share my experience. I have two other roommates, Brett Patterson. He's also from Minnesota High School, and Jordan Schmaltz. He's a younger guy in our team. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've developed some really awesome relationships with both of those players, and as well as our housing dad. So it's an experience that I'm never going to forget, and I'm just trying to enjoy every day as it comes.
Oh, indeed, it sounds like you're approaching it. You got the right attitude all the way around, and that's very refreshing. You also had an opportunity to play in front of the largest crowd in team history just this past Saturday, over 4,500 in attendance. And what about the atmosphere of playing in a great facility that you have now, one of the best and one of the most elaborate facilities with the Sioux City? Having just renovated your locker rooms and so forth before the season, but also just in general playing in front of some great crowds throughout the USHL. That's something that probably puts a little more of a jump in your step. Yeah,
it really does. I know there's some other buildings that draw sellout crowds every night, especially Lincoln. I know I love playing there. The atmosphere, it's really important. It makes you play that much better. It's just another step in your game if you get the crowd into it. But yeah, the Tyson Event Center, it's an awesome place to play, and especially just spending every day here at practice. You just try to spend as much time as you can at the rink, because I mean we have everything we need and all the tools in the bag to get better at your game. So yeah, it's awesome. I know all the other guys like it as well.
Your decision to go to UMD, I mean, that has been a program that has truly been on the rise. They're having an outstanding year this season. And speaking of great facilities, they got a new one up there, which I'm sure you've taken note of.
Yeah, that's it's a great building up there. I got a chance to go up there over Christmas break about a month back, and it's really awesome. And that was actually part of my decision making when I was deciding where to go to college. Is I just thought it was a great program. You know, they have awesome coaches. I already have a great relationship with all those guys up there, and obviously the new rink, and like you said, they are on the rise. The past few years they've been doing really well, and I believe they're sitting at third in the nation right now.
Yes.
It's going to be an awesome place to play, and I'm really excited about that as well. But like I said, the USHL, I'm just trying to finish out this year here and become the best I can in between now and when I step into college.
And keep moving right up the ranks there in the standings. And it was a pretty good transition for you. Just to note the fact that you scored a goal in your first USHL game, and then what did you do for an encore? You got 2 goals in your second USHL game. So as far as the adjustment factor from the Minnesota prep level, you lit the lamp very early. Probably gave you a little bit of early confidence to get yourself moving in the right direction.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Coming into this year, I was really excited to take that next step in my career. I knew the game would be a lot faster in this league, coming from Minnesota high school, obviously. But yeah, our team got off to a nice start, and in my mind, I wasn't thinking too much. It was just sort of a go situation. Trying to learn the pace of the game a little bit, and sure enough, I found myself putting a few points away, which was nice. And yeah, it did. It gave me a little bit of confidence, and I kind of said to myself, "Well, I should keep this up the whole year," and that's been my goal ever since.
Also, the coaching gives you a little bit of a different spin and a different perspective. I would suspect.
Yeah, the coaches are awesome here in Sioux City, and they have a lot of feedback. Obviously, coming from Minnesota high school, some of the coaches don't have as much experience as they do here in this league, and it's been nice. I've really learned a lot since I've been here, so it's been good.
I got my last question. It's a personal one. I believe there was a trade made around the first of the year, and you have a teammate by the name of Tom O'Regan. And as full disclosure, Tom's dad, Tom O'Regan, was the captain of the Boston University hockey team in 1982 and 1983, classmate of mine and one of my best friends. So I've known Tom since he was younger than he cares to remember. So you're gonna have to say hello for me.
Okay, yeah, I will do that.
Okay. Caleb, thanks very much. A pleasure to have you join us here on This Week in the USHL, and want to wish you luck, and hopefully your team can continue to move up the standings and continue to catch some of the clubs that are above you in that tight Western Conference, and look forward to hopefully catching you again down the road this season.
Yeah, that sounds perfect, Bernie. I really appreciate you having me on the show. It was nice to get a hold of you here, and I was glad I could answer some questions for you.
Well, thanks very much, Caleb. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Caleb Herbert, the Sioux City Musketeers, our guest here on This Week in the USHL.